I'll just be kicking it, you know what I'm saying? Fade with me. Hi, Mary. How you doing? I'll just be kicking it. Blues and greens. Hey, I wonder where Blue Malibu's been lately. I'm gonna have to give her a call. I'm doing great. Wonder where Blue Malibu's been lately. Have you seen her? I'm about to go and steal the show. You got to be me. Never being down. That's what's He's good. He went to. He's been gone for a week. He sold some of his cars at an auction in West Palm Beach. He's on his way back from Hilton Head, probably. Yeah, I never know when I'm going to do these lives. Once I get this internet, I should have had it already. I'll be back to the old days. I'll just be kicking it. Hey, Shannon, how you doing? I do like the spontaneity of it all, though. I don't really like planning things that much. It's not as fun. How do you like these beautiful clouds today? Got a nice little storm last night. Woke me up. I just filled the jar, the feeder jar to the bees. I said, you guys be kicking it. I gave the vultures a can of dog food. What was Shannon saying? What's Shannon talking about? My hair kicking it. The Mexican guy down 278 had a rodeo last night. Had paid entertainers and everything. If I'd have known about it earlier, I would have went to it. I'd have had a taco. I'd just be kicking it. You know what I'm saying? I must be on the wrong chat. Which chat are you on, Mary? Hey, Frisky. Who desperately needs help? You got to be kidding, Faye. Wow. It's crazy. It's 76 here. I'm just going to be kicking. What were you talking about desperately needs help? I just canned a couple people yesterday. This is the Masters. Yeah, everybody knows that. You know, it's pretty obvious. Yeah, well, you know, I think everybody knows that, don't they, with the brain in their head? I don't know why they have to come over here and mention this. It'd be like, hey, you know what, Mary? You need to breathe to live. Or Frisky, you need to eat to live. It just hints drama to me, which is exactly what I don't want. And that's how it inches its way in a channel. And all of a sudden, the whole fucking day is talking about what everybody knows about already. Yeah, thank you, Jabo. Jabo, did you need, you need to get sleep to feel rested? I'm about to go and steal the show. You got to be me. in May. I'll never be in love. That's what my Daisy's all about. She wants to ride with Dad to Augusta, Georgia. We are gonna party all night. Let's hope we don't get in a fight. Hey, Internail. I'm gonna go get a gyro today. Gonna put on the AC for Daisy. Hey, how you doing, man? How you feeling? Get some homemade hummus today, Mary. Take your time. Yeah, it's really good. Exceptional. The best I ever had, I would say, for gyros and hummus. Make it every morning. I'd buy you one if you were here. With a big smile on your face. Yeah, they're good. They're hard to find. It's only the second place I've ever had them homemade. The place I was getting them closed about 15 years ago. Sad day. They sold out for the price of their liquor license, $660 grand. When that Greek saw that, he said, hell with fresh gyros. I said, it's up to you, homeboy. Love the open road. I'm coming up to Michigan in a couple weeks. We'll party. We'll go get some whitefish. Lake trout. Oh, it is? little cooler this way, 75. Oh, that was cute. Yeah, it is sweet. Oh, there's a poor guy. His truck broke down. Hi, Sharon. They'd be kicking it. see these clouds pretty good? Hey, Debbie and Dave. Yeah, we're partying big time. I got my Daisy sleeping in the right seat, shotgun in the sky. She just wants to ride down the road in harmony. Hey, how you doing? Oh, he is working all the time. Doing what? Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen her in years. About a year or two, I bet. It's got to be me. I'll never be in doubt. That's what it's all about. Yeah, it is. There's some parts of it, yeah. It's on it's limping though. It's not, you know, it's changed. Everything changes. I mean, America's day in the sun was right after World War II and in the 60s and 70s. And now economies have caught up. They produce things cheaper. Almost everything's made more inexpensively someplace else. Pissed off about a third of the world. Our dollar is losing value. Inflation is running rampant. The middle class is disappearing. It's the poor, the working poor, the mediocre middle class, and the super rich. I'm going to run for mayor of Crawfordville. I'm going to shake this place up. Yeah, blues and greens. And my logo is going to be a black vulture. Black vulture, you got to see through those videos, gets no fanfare. Just considered a dirty, ugly bird that nobody pays attention to. Blows their horn at when they see him on the side of the road. You see what great parents they are. Ubiquitous. The bald eagle, you just look at him and he falls off the tree dead. It's the biggest pussy bird that ever lived. Damn black vultures run circles around one as far as evolution and survivability. Those bald eagles got to be handled with kid gloves. Seriously, man, I'm not kidding you. Nobody helps the black vulture. Now they're starting rumors that they're killing calves that are being born out west, which is a crock of shit. Yeah, they're so cute. Cute, the vultures, man. They're excellent parents. They get they're never going to be on a stand. They're not going to be the symbol of strength, but it's just like the cockroach. Gets no help. Perseveres. Doesn't need any help. Doesn't want any help. People call them flying rats and stuff. I'll tell you another thing that gets bad rap is venomous snakes. I talked to another idiot the other day that kills them when he sees them. Just doesn't get it. They're part of the ecosystem. You know, they're about ready to put those diamondback rattlers, the eastern diamondback rattler, on the endangered species list. That's from idiots killing them. Yeah, they do. They do eat it. They'd rather eat it. Eagles are kind of lazy, actually. It's just crazy. But part of that is our school's fault for allowing this nonsense to be carried on. Villainizing sharks, killing venomous snakes, bitching about vultures. Vultures would be dead everywhere except it's a migrating bird. That's what keeps them protected. Idiots think they're spreading disease when they're doing the opposite. So nuts, man. I read these books and I just watch these things and I fool around with these bees. I just sit on a chair and I look at these bees and I'm embarrassed to be a human. It's the worst living thing on the whole planet and they prove it every day. These bees just do their thing. I get about 50 emails about how I don't know what I'm doing with bees. Bees are going to attack people coming in the house. Why would I put bees there? What if it bites a kid, stings a kid? I hope it stings every kid that comes over because I don't like them visiting anything. You can sit right by the hive, right next to it. I just switched their water jar out. It's 1-to-1, sugar with water. They're hungrier than hell, you know. They got a lot going on. They're setting up shop. They went through a whole quart in 4 days. Now they could probably make it on their own, but it'd be a struggle. There's just not enough stuff to eat for them right now. I see those bees go in and out. It's just wow. I bear witness to the honeybee. The caste system, you know, that may not be a bad idea. We're going to kind of a caste systems ourselves over here. The rich and the poor. But it happened through a broken economy. It's different methodology. I sit there and Marty says, Tom, why do you have such a big smile on your face? Did you get some new porn? And I say, no, Marty. There's a lot in my life other than porn. But I was just smiling because I couldn't help it. show this effervescent joy on my face that I'm only going to be alive for about another 15 more years. And that puts a smile on my face, at the most. I'll be leaving this fucked up place. I hope they throw me to the Vultures. I'd be honored. Instead of in a $13,000 cherry wood casket, a $700 vault, or a $5,000 tombstone, just to sit there and get in the way of someone that's mowing. So stupid. Today I'm going to eat my gyro. I swear, I hope I do get thrown to the Vultures. I want to donate my organs, every single one of them, to the Vultures. Hopefully they don't spit it out. You guys can make a YouTube video of it. It's like, this is really weird. There's chosen one out there, and his body's been out there a week, and the Vultures are dead. You know, you can I'm getting buried on the farm too. What's left? Like, they don't eat what's left. My tombstone, if I did have one, which I'm not going to, but I've thought about this, I do have a gravesite in Michigan. I'd like it kind of like the Oscar Mayer Wiener, with wings on the side of it. That's so when the kids came out, you know, it didn't cause too much trouble. You could pass it off to the kids as a hot dog. And to all my faithful subscribers over the years, you know what it is. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm about ready to jump up. I'm going to do some interviews pretty soon too. There's a lot of, actually where I'm going right now, I can do a bunch of interviews. I just haven't been in quite the mood. I'm just partying too much. I had great UFC on last night. 3 hours worth. Every fight was good. That's another one of those conflicts I have in my mind. You know, that's not good that people get their head hit like that. And for all they say about concussions and football, man, these UFC guys are they're gonna be in a convalescent center by the time they're 45. I mean, if people like me didn't watch it, there'd be no market, and I feel a little guilty for that. Speaking of feeling guilty, I'm feeling guilty about something else too. You know, those carpenter bees, those damn things, they chew a perfect 3/8 inch hole through your wood. Really, your damn house will look like Swiss cheese. So we got bee traps. This is the second year we've been catching. And then I'm a little rusty on my beekeeping, so I picked up a couple new books on beekeeping, and this guy was talking about, the damage they do to houses and what a small price it is to pay for the amount of pollinating they do. And I never thought of that. I mean, I knew they probably did, but I never read anything about it because, of course, there's no money in it, so nobody spends any time in carpenter bees. And then I've been thinking about this since, and now it's starting to bother me that maybe I'm going to have to come up with an alternative plan, like when I catch them, take them way back in the woods and let them go. But what I wondered about is these carpenter bees, they dig through wood and they lay their eggs. And this guy also said they don't do any internal damage. That once they chew through that, whatever kind of board you have in your house, they lay their eggs right around the corner. That's it. Well, that's enough because, cockroaches and all that shit can make their way in. start looking at another plan. Maybe I never see carpenter bees out in the woods. And I'm assuming that's because, there's not places like houses for them to chew through in 20 minutes. I don't think a carpenter bee chews out a big hole in a old tree. I'm not sure of this. But I'm starting to feel guilty now of killing these things, letting them go in there and they suffocate and then you throw them away. But they were just doing so much damage to the house. Now that's not going to be an issue in the house I'm building because it's a different kind of wood they're not interested in, which I feel good about. But if I have to take these carpenter bees, we also swat them with tennis rackets. I'm telling you, man, they do damage. Seriously. I don't like doing that either, but it's just like these feral pigs. Thank God I've only seen one of them. But I was talking to some biologists at the rattlesnake roundup. He said you need to exterminate those as soon as possible because they will ruin indigenous wildlife's habitats. Which, the way I look at it is a pig's born into this world. They're domestic pigs that have escaped. He gets loose. He's just a pig looking for something to eat. He's no longer going to be a sausage or a piece of bacon. He got loose. And he goes out with no help at all. And he finds places to eat, and they breed, and they have babies. They're just living just like everything else. And all he's doing is acting like a pig. Rutting in the ground, having sex, protecting his offspring, migrating. And because I don't like what he does to the yard, I kill him over it. I just got a problem with that. So thankfully, it hasn't been an issue. I mean, that bad. Here I got a biologist. These guys are capable of getting brainwashed too. Just because someone's a biologist, this doesn't mean they know exactly what they're talking about. Look how messed up Michigan's lakes and streams are over this salmon fiasco. These salmon have never been in the ocean. Stock non-indigenous species. What they did was create an economy. It all revolves around money. So they got salmon where they shouldn't be, and it's a big business now in Michigan, which, is that right either? I say it's not. Man involvement. They've messed up so many things. The Kissimmee River is a perfect example in Florida. I think too, I don't know this for sure, but enough of what I read over the years, the Army Corps of Engineers does a lot of work in the Mississippi River because it's a navigable river. And the government has these big, gymnasiums where they set up these mock rivers to scale, smaller scale. They do things with it and see where the current goes and that kind of thing. And I'll bet you money, they don't talk about it because they don't want the public knowing this and then criticizing it. With all this work they've done to the Mississippi River over the years with regard to dropping concrete pilings, you name it, to get the water go a different way. I bet that's led to this drought in some kind of way. These shallower areas. Florida learned the hard way what concrete seawalls do. Tunica, Mississippi, with the barges. Yeah, it's just, there's some clown that was a professor somewhere at, I think Miami, one of those Florida schools. This idiot suggested that they make reefs for fish around coral reefs. Well, 20 years later they found out that this rubber broke down and fucked up all this coral. Wrecked 1,000 acres of it or something. This is a college professor talking out his ass. I was at this, they're not Amish, but you'd think they were Amish. They lived down around Flint. I used to buy package bees from them. I'm I'm down there one early spring. I went to a seminar and then we kind of hit it off and kept in touch. So I started buying my bees from him. So I go down there and there's this expert in bees, Chinese guy. He defected from China and he's a professor at Michigan State. China got a hold of him and say, hey, look, you pay us back, man. You're going to find your head chopped off. So we did pay him back. But he's regarded as a bee expert. So I'm down there in April. It's like this freakish cold weather. It's like 31 degrees. This clown that teaches at Michigan State comes down there. You know, it's an agricultural school. And they keep bees. It's part of their curriculum. He comes down and gets like 40 or 50 package bees. That's a box of bees. It's got a queen in it. And I'm talking to this guy that I'm getting them from. You know, and that's a big order for him. And I said, hey, I knew who it was because I'd met him before. I said, is he taking those bees back? He comes down in a pickup truck. I said, is he taking those bees back like that? He said, yeah, can you believe it? I said, no, I don't believe it. It's too cold. I can't do that shit. Those bees need to be in a van. It's 31 degrees, not counting the wind chill factor. He said, well, I'm not going to say anything to him. I said, well, I'm going to say something to him. He said, well, be kind. I was like, all right. So I went up and said, hey, man, you're going back to Michigan State? He said, I am. I said, you know, it's too cold to take those bees outside that far. It's about a 60-mile drive. He said, I've done it before. It's like, okay, well, good luck. Yeah, 29 of the packages died on the way to Michigan State. This college professor, expert. What a fucking dumbass. It's crazy. Yeah, you gotta be kind. Yeah. I was reading an article last night online about beekeeping. You know, I'm a little rusty. Here's the thing about beekeeping. Like, I was into it pretty heavy at one time. But I'd say I'd give myself a C- now. I run into these people all the time. And I may be a notch above them right now. But I'm catching up on my knowledge of bees. They love nature. They say they want bees. They want to tell everybody they got bees. They're fucking this and that. They get a beehive and they go and get a package set of bees. And they dump them in there like I did. They think they're a beekeeper. That's nothing. Any idiot can do it. You need to inspect the hive. Know about diseases, varroa mites. I don't give a fuck about honey production. I don't care if they swarm, to tell you the truth. Because they're a better judge of when it's time to leave than I am. And I just see it's like a state trooper up here. I just see so many of these idiots that get bees. I've run into 2 of them last week. It's like, oh, I said, I heard you had bees. Yeah, I had bees. It's like, oh, okay. And I think to myself, I bet I'd start quizzing them. It's like, oh, how they doing? It's like, oh, pretty good. Yeah, they think it's pretty good because they still see live bees flying in and out of there. I said, have you been in the hive lately? It's saying, no, I've never been in the hive. They don't have a bee suit. They don't know anything about the health of bees because you're putting bees in a captive environment, which is, of course, wrong from the start. Now, this hive that I have is considered a more natural hive. We're not taking any honey. I don't expect an award for it. But you got lots of people with beehives in their backyard that don't know the faintest fucking idea. It'd be like having a kid, raising it, and never taking it to the doctor. Just hoping that kids will stay healthy. When he was born, he was healthy. Yeah, it's just nuts. There's a lot of shit you got to keep your eye on. And if not, you're a negligent, terrible steward of Mother Nature. You let a disease go in there because you put them on a hive on the ground. You didn't know what the hell you were doing. You could have medicated them, and you didn't. And now they're all dead because of your dumbass. I see it all the time. I see it with fish ponds, too. Anytime, you know, anybody that's owned a pool, you know that the amount of upkeep, you know, people are peeing in it. Birds are shitting in it when they fly by. It's a lot of upkeep to keep a pool sanitary and healthy. And then you go out to Lake Michigan, and you go to these Lake Leelanau, and you see these beautiful bodies of water that are just natural that Mother Nature maintains. I mean, you get E. coli, nature's organic fertilizer, that kind of thing. That happens. But it's just unbelievable. You know, you like that beach I was at down in Pensacola. It's like, this is so gorgeous. Nobody does anything. They just swim in it. You look at the east coast of Florida, those beaches are gorgeous. There's a lot of reasons for that. One, no factories. Two, the fresh water doesn't meet the salt water hardly at all. Secondly, it's a limestone bottom. And thirdly, you've got the biggest winner of them all, the Gulf Stream, which is constantly moving water out of there northeast. And the consequence is aqua blue, gorgeous water. All the time. Rejuvenated, refreshed, replenished. You got everything good coming together. Look at Lake Superior, gorgeous. Lake Michigan. Now you'll see when they shut down these beaches for E. coli, it's for a number of reasons. A lot of times it's seagulls crapping, Canadian geese, or sewer discharge. You'll notice after a flood that a lot of beaches are closed, it's sewer backup. That's all mankind again. You know, Michigan's got a strange law with regard to sewers. Not sewers, but septic tanks. You get around these areas, luckily they're not that populated, or you'd be getting a lot more of this. And where you get a lot of organic material that tends to make the water darker, like Lake Erie, you get that algae bloom, and a lot of that's a process of sun. I mean, that's probably the least desirable of the Great Lakes. Lake St. Clair isn't really considered a Great Lake. It's more like a big swamp. But you look at Superior, Michigan, those are just like world-class bodies of water. Lucky to witness it. I think, anyway. Down here, I mean, who doesn't like beautiful, clear blue water? That's another thing like Hilton Head. Water sucks there. That whole East Coast water sucks. All the way from Maine, all the way down to about Cocoa Beach, with occasional exceptions through some fluke deal. They're far and few between. You go to Atlantic City, Provincetown, Rhode Island, Savannah, Georgia. It looks like the Mississippi River. Hilton Head. You can't see 12 inches in that water. Now, it doesn't always mean it's dirty, but it's just not very eye appealing. But as soon as you get down around Cocoa Beach, I mean, I'm not a big fan of Florida, but their beaches are just killer, world-class beaches. White, powdered sand, crystal blue water. I think if Hilton Head, if they had clear water there, those houses would be 3 times as much. 4 times as much. There's a method to the madness on the pricing of this. People like crystal clear blue water, and it reflects in its price. I mean, I like sunsets and sunrises and all that crap. Storms. But I still gotta say that there's nothing like looking at blue water. I mean, the Mississippi is a world-class river, but looks like a big sludge pool. The Huron River, where I grew up, all sorts of dioxins in there, benzenes. They telling you this year, do not eat any fish. Not just cut down, don't eat any. You'll wake up with a cantaloupe-sized tumor in your stomach someday. It's because you're eating those catfish. That's from a couple companies up there, Gelman Sciences in Ann Arbor. They've wrecked it for 30 years. There's a nickel plating place up near Milford. Poisoned the whole water table. Chroming factories too. Rockford, Michigan, another nice place in Michigan. Forget the name of that river there. That's all messed up. Oscoda, Michigan, the Air Force. It's a shoe manufacturing plant in Rockford. Now some of this is just ignorance, and there was no intentions. You know a lot more than you know now. But for modern day polluters, I think they should really throw the book at them. Really rack it off in their ass. It just affects so many people. You know, that's a big question mark. It affects different people different ways. Some people can smoke for 30 years. Never get COPD. Live to 90. Some can't get COPD very early. And have a stroke at 50. My sister's a walking medical nightmare because of smoking. Excuse me. She ruined her body smoking. Me and Cole in high school. That nicotine, man, that's another Maddie story. That nicotine is super addictive. You can quit for 20 years, go to a wedding, have one cigarette, and be right back where you were when you quit. It's the legalized version of heroin. It actually is, minus the fentanyl aspect, much healthier. Heroin would be. You know, there was a time in the country, like around the 20s, where there were just tons of functioning heroin addicts. Middle income people, rich. I mean, I'm not suggesting that's the thing to do, but it's possible. That kooky professor at the University of Columbia University, whatever they call it, if you look him up, that clown thinks it's a good idea that you should be able to sell heroin over the counter. What a nut job. Carl something. He's been basically written off by academia. It's a fucking nut job. But he's a tenured professor. He's African American, you know, minus him dying or quitting. He'll be there till the day he dies. Crazy. Total kook. Imagine paying $60,000 in tuition and another $30,000 in expenses to send your kid to that school to listen to this nonsense. He's a total kook. Bona fide nut job. I can't think of his last name. I talked to him one time a long time ago, like 15, 20, 12 years ago or something. He was coming up with this new theory on drug addiction and poverty. And, I forgot it. Anyway, I called him, talked to him about 20 minutes. He didn't really seem bad then. Then he got much nuttier. Fucking nut job. Got these guys leaving their tractors out there with their mowing deck. We're gonna get a bigger mowing deck. That's the kind we need. You know, when you first start buying this shit, if you're not a farmer and your dad wasn't one, or your neighbor, you don't know what to get really. These salesmen bullshit you blind. Marty realized later, I wouldn't have known the difference anyway. They sell you what they have in stock. You know, they tell you, oh, what, no matter what your answer, oh, what size place do you have? Oh, 200 acres. Oh, okay. No matter what, you could say 10,000 acres. And at the end of the conversation, he's going to say, well, I got the right thing for you. The only fucking thing he's got in inventory. Yeah, you don't know that then till you look back and figure it out slowly. These guys are full of shit. I wrote them a big 2-page letter and chewed their ass out too, telling them how full of shit they were. They even referenced as to why I thought that way. They didn't say a fucking peep. Called up Marty and apologized. I did it to Ford Motor Company too on their metal making fuel pumps. It's like, yeah, this is really insulting. You must think we're really stupid. You guys are full of shit. I do this Ford thing because Marty's buddy's a Ford dealer, but Ford as a company is a bunch of motherfuckers. They really are. They're lying now on this fuel pump deal. And during that automobile loan thing, they bragged that they never borrowed any money. Yeah, you know why? Because they didn't pay anybody for 2 years. Ford single-handedly put more independent machine shops out of business than anyone combined because they didn't pay bills. They didn't need the money. You can look that up. Now they're trying to go down to Ford, downtown Detroit, that old train station. Yeah, you know what? They got a 10-year tax abatement. So they're down there for free, bragging on how they're bringing Detroit back. They're not contributed a fucking dime. You can't sustain a city like that. Detroit will be right back where it was 10 years from now after all this bullshit free money shit goes away. All these grants and subsidies. And Chicago's finding that out now too. Once everybody has to really know what they're doing and know how to run a business, the party's over. It's like a corporate form of welfare. That's why I'm running for mayor of Crawfordville. I'm going to straighten this place out. I'm going to be the Black Vulture. That's right. The only thing I don't like about this place is the parking. It's nice to see a lot of people appreciate this good food. This place isn't cheap. And they actually have enough fucking balls to charge a lot, which I give them credit for. Because you gotta make, it's hard. Food costs are so high. And when you're making handmade gyros, you gotta charge a lot for them. But I'm willing to pay for it. I just don't think it appeals to a mass group of people, fast food, like chicken strips or some shit. Thank you. I can't get a pierogi though like you can. Oh, that's cool. Oh, he is. That's interesting. Yeah, that's it, Interneil. We gotta get some gas. Well, you guys, I'm gonna go in here and tear up one of these gyros. So I hope you guys have a good Sunday. Mayor Reed, thank you. Yep. We're gonna party. I see the convict cooks are taking a smoking break. Bye, Jabo. See you, Mary. See you, Interneil. You guys have a good day today.